Yes, I believe when the Barron County patrols were funded by Whirlpool and the Barron County Commission to help service Benton Harbor and extra patrols. The fact that the EM said that we would not need them speaks to the fact that we have improved by cross-training police officers and the fire department. If you notice, St. Joe is preparing to review that and do the same thing. We have to do some of the best practices to get the best bang for the buck. And so also I would like to say I think that Benton Harbor should be appreciative of Barron County for what they have done. And as mayor, I would encourage the commission to work closely with the Barron County Commission and other entities that have helped Benton Harbor in the past.
Thank you. Your question, Mr. Ledesky.
Thank you. And I'd like to ask each of the candidates. We had a brief presentation at the beginning of this forum, and I would like each of you to tell us your position on the millage for the library, whether you support it or not. If so, why? If not, why not? And Mr. Bradley, I believe it's your turn to start.
I am in support of the library millage. Like I said, grew up in the city, and the library was a very, 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 very important part of my growing up years. I believe that the library's millage should be passed because that way future generations can go in and learn things about the world around them. That's also a resource for people to use the internet, and also to go in and get books. Books take you to another world where you can learn and grow in that environment when you read. And reading is very fundamental, and I think that, like I said, the library millage should be passed because our library is a great part of our community and the foundation.
Thank you. Commissioner Hightower.
I agree with Mr. Bradley. I strongly agree that it has to be a yes vote to renew the library village. It's our cultural center. It's a learning center. It's the place of information. A city without a public library or without the full services, in fact, I would like to see the services increase. So yes, I am fully in support of the Benton Harbor Public Library village renewal.
Thank you. Commissioner Knowles.
Yes, I too, as the other two panelists, do agree that we need, and as I'm looking at it, that there will be no actual increase. It will remain at $200,000 annually, according to Mr. Kirby. As I do recall, this summer there was a cooling problem. Very important that you go into a place that's enclosed and you are able to breathe. That's a factor. That's a health issue. So I do agree also that it's a learning institution. It is a place, in some cases, where people get out of the elements, and they've been allowed to, so it's been some compassion there. And I also want to say that the staff has been very, very professional in reference to guiding people to references and other materials that are in the library. And so I do support the village stay.
Thank you, Commissioner, and I would like to note that we have a unanimous group of candidates here.
And that is one of my questions. Whatever the makeup of the mayor commission, after this vote, how do you propose to help move the city forward? And will you work together? Let me add to that, whether or not we have an EM, and I don't say any names because it's the position, it's not about the person, or whoever the mayor ends up being the mayor and the commission, will you work together? And I would start this question with Mr. Hightower.
Yes, I fully intend to work together, not only with the EM, but I also plan to work together, definitely, with the EM as well as the City Commission. I feel it's important that we have an understanding as a commission, to have unified goals to know what is at hand and what has to be taken care of. In the past, we have not did any goal setting, so there's nothing to focus on together. When you say work, that means that you're heading towards some sort of results. And anybody can pick out things that are wrong, but when you find solutions, that's where you come with commonality and work together.
Thank you. Mr. Bradley?
If elected, I will.
I'm sorry, Mr. Knowles. Commissioner Knowles, excuse me, that's why I'm asking to help me to know who's next.
No,
Mr. Knowles.
in the art of confused names,
I'm not confused about the name, just the order. I know your name.
confused orders, I will say this. I have no problem with working with anyone if it's going to be viable and valuable for the residents I represent. The problem I have with an EM or anyone that would side that way as it has been done here in the city of Benton Harbor, it becomes dictatorship. That's not equal. That's not fair. That's not democracy. I have issues when I see the slide rule go to the slide of negativity for the people that are supposed to be represented. Huge administrative salaries, as I've seen with many programs that are one-sided in this city of Benton Harbor, where, and I'm almost done. People were supposed to have been trained, and then the training failed because of administrative overhead, not for the people, but for an oligarch. So I have an issue with dictatorship.
Thank you. Mr. Bradley?
If elected, I would work together with the commission and the EM. If you have many opinions in one body, but when you work together, you can get more things accomplished. When you have, it's just like a tire. When you have like 2 or 3 lug nuts missing from a tire, then that tire is going to fall off. So you want to try to work with everybody in order to get things rolling in the right direction. So definitely, that's something I'm all for, is teamwork, because you can get more things accomplished that way.
Thank you.
I'm going to follow up with a question that really does come from the previous question and some of the responses given. As we look at the city of Benton Harbor and situation as a whole, is the city of Benton Harbor, in your opinion, better off now than it was before the arrival of the emergency financial manager, or is it worse off now than it was? And if so, please be specific. In what way is it better or worse off? Commissioner Knowles.
Thank you for coming to me first. I'll say it this way. It appears on the surface that things are better off. It appears that the books are balanced. It appears. Now, I remind you that you must read in depth. Anytime I want to market something, I'm going to make it look good globally. Right now is the time that the EM who is in stating that he's here to balance the budget, but then when Public Act 4214 hit the floor, it was about an emergency manager. It came in under fiscal, now it's about the, as my fellow commissioner would say, coup d'etat of the land. And who gets to stay on the land. A lot of demolition going on. I have very, very high apprehensions for what I've seen when you've had no opportunities to get any of the stimulus dollars. All right, see, I'm almost done. Stimulus dollars to go to work. And so therefore your families are broken up at this time. I have a deep issue with any dictatorship, whether it be from Joe Harris, and that's not personal, the state or the federal government or any municipality. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bradley.
In my opinion, since the arrival of the EM, things have been better. I'm seeing improvements as they go. I have, two-sided opinion, because I see some things as far as current city leadership goes. it's divided because you have a few that are working with the EM, and then you have some that are not working with the EM. And one side wants to do things on their own, and the other side is trying to do things on their own. But if they can come together, we can get more things accomplished with those improvements.
Thank you. Commissioner Hightower.
I'd like to say, first of all, yes, things are much better. In the very beginning, I chose to give up my authority as a commission to ensure that the city was taken care of. We've had, since the state has been here, we've paid off more than $1 million in vendors. We have contracts that have been ratified with the police departments and the fire department, which is huge. You have the IRS that has been paid off. We have a balanced budget for the first time in 10 years. Thank you.
Thank you. The question that I would like to ask, and yes.
We have 30 seconds.
Oh, I wondered if there was another, I have the order confused in my head.
Did everyone answer?
Yes. Sorry, my mistake.
This is what I would like to know of each candidate. Do you have the time and desire to be the mayor of the city of Benton Harbor? Would you work on committees? Would you attend things that pertain to the city of Benton Harbor that you're invited to? There are so many activities that go on, and Benton Harbor is not represented because no one came. There are committees, I know that in the county and tri-county, like planning commissions and all, that there is a position that's left open for a representative from the city of Benton Harbor, and no one comes. And then later I hear people say, we didn't know that was going on. So I want to know, do you have the time and the desire to participate in the different activities in with the other cities, townships, tri-counties, state, federal, whatever representation is needed to truly represent the city of Benton Harbor? And I will start with Mr. Bradley.
I would have the time and the desire to work on all those levels because my city, this is my city, and I love my city. And when you go to different places, I've had the opportunity to work on the Planning Commission currently, and also the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority. And you represent your area, and also on other things that I've been on growing up in the past and my professional career. When you go to these places, you represent your area, and so I want to be that representative for our city and making sure that the voices of the citizens are heard.
Thank you. Commissioner Hightower.
Yes, I've taken the time. Before I became a commissioner, I worked diligently on the governor's task force to help with Benton Harbor. Becoming a commissioner over the last 4 years, I worked very diligently to ensure that I made meetings. I went to some meetings that maybe I wouldn't have been invited to, just to represent the city of Benton Harbor. I think it's very important, and it's very important to collaborate with the various entities and municipalities to ensure that we can work together for the betterment for all of us.
Thank you. Mr. Knowles.
Let me Commissioner Knowles.
Commissioner Knowles.
Thank you. First of all, I am full-time. My mode as commissioner, I service a lot of residents. I believe in this. I believe that you delegate this authority to the residents that you serve. You can't make everything, not one of us can. We'd be foolish to sit here and say that we could. I would suggest that in the bottoms up, or the residents being the top, that they get delegated to go to meetings so that they can learn, get involved, bring information back. Therefore, dissemination of that information can be given to the full body and then, again, transferred to the residents. That's how I would say the involvement would have to be.
Thank you very much.